Hello. In this video, I'm examining the ways in which Rumi's teachings can help us in postmodern times. Rumi is one of the most distorted figures in history. In this channel, we have been aiming to present his thoughts from within the originating tradition, giving the viewers an authentic account of different themes in his thought. The fundamental principles of Rumi's teachings are divine love and unity, mystic intoxication or masti, as we say in Farsi, separation and longing, silence and inner listening, spiritual transformation, surrender and trust. His teachings have survived centuries and have transcended cultural and religious boundaries. But how can he help us today? Let us discuss this. Rumi encourages us to see life's challenges as opportunities for transformation. For example, in Divan Shams Tabrizi in Ghazal 786, line 5, he has this beautiful poem as a dialogue he's having with God. در هر آن کنج دلی که غم تو معتکف است، نیمه شب تابش خورشید بر آنجا بزند. Wherever in a heart your sorrow has taken refuge, at midnight the sunlight will shine upon it. Through this poem, Rumi is telling us that God sometimes puts sorrow in our lives, but through that challenge, He presents us with His enlightenment. He enlightens our heart. He sends us His grace. And that pain, that challenge is the price to pay to get that grace. In another poem, in a dialogue that the character in play is having with God, God says to him, منم از مادر و پدر به نوازش رحیم‌تر، جهت پختگی تو برسید امتحان تو. I am more passionate in my care than a mother or father. For the sake of your own growth, your trial has arrived. Here Rumi is underscoring the transformative power of challenges and difficulties. The trials, the difficult circumstances one finds in their lives are opportunities to grow morally and spiritually. In Divan Shams, in Ghazal 207, Rumi says, ای که به هنگام درد راحت جانی مرا، وی که به تلخی فقر گنج روانی مرا. O you, God, Rumi is saying to God, O you who in the times of pain are the comfort of my soul, O you who in the bitterness of poverty are my flowing treasure. God, according to Rumi, is the remedy for the afflicted. One who experiences challenges in their lives are comforted by God Himself. God is the treasure of people in poverty, of people in destitute, in order to make His graces earned and thus not be random and unjust. There is a price to pay, and suffering and difficulty is one of the highest prices to gain divine grace. Rumi advises us to welcome challenges with open arms precisely because of their transformative power. Challenges improve the afflicted morally and spiritually, according to Rumi. But this is not pacifism. Rumi is not telling us to not take action and just accept difficulties. We should be fighting challenges, but some difficulties, as we have seen in our lives, have come to stay. They are there for a purpose. They are not going to go away soon. And Rumi targets especially these challenges, teaching us that instead of trying to avoid certain difficulties that cannot be avoided, one should accept them as part of moral and spiritual growth. This perspective gives us a framework to find meaning in challenges, which helps us to cope with them more easily. In a time obsessed with self-image, which is often a disguise for egoism, Rumi's emphasis on humility, self-awareness, and transcending our base self, base ego, to reach our true self can help us detach from the ego's grip, leading to fundamentally higher reality and enlightened existence. In Divan Shams, he says, دل از این تنگ زندانها رهی داری به میدانها مگر خفته است پای تو پنداری نداری پا. O heart, from these narrow prisons you have a path to open fields, unless your feet are asleep and you think you have none. Rumi is reminding us of higher realities, He is warning us not to be trapped in the material world. In a beautiful poem in Divan, Rumi is having a dialogue with God. In that dialogue, Rumi says to God, گفتم روزکی دو سه مانده ام در آب و گل بسته خوفم و رجا تا برسد صلای من. I said, for just a few days I remain in water and clay, that is in the material world, bound by fear and hope, waiting for my call to come. Meaning that I've been stuck for a short time in the material world. I'm just waiting for my time to go back to my true origin, to my reality. And this is a beautiful answer from God that Rumi is presenting us in this dialogue. God says, گفت در آب و گل نی سایه توست این طرف برد تو را از این جهان صنعت جانربای من. He, God, said, you are not in water and clay, only your shadow is here. My soul-capturing art will carry you beyond this world. Here, God is telling Rumi that what he's experiencing in the material world, his material existence, is but a shadow, meaning that it's inferior. It is not his true self. His true self is transcendental, dwells in a higher world. Through these dialogues and poems, Rumi is encouraging us to transcend our base ego. Although these are too spiritual, even if someone is not a spiritual practitioner, this perspective invites them to go beyond their base and excessive desires, like eating, satisfying sensual needs, or obsessing with material gain. Instead, live with and for noble values. That is, ethical living, self-dignity, self-improvement, moderation, helping others, and living a purposeful and enlightened existence. Rumi invites and helps us to transition from our base self to our moral self. He encourages us to take even a further step. He helps us discover our true spiritual and divine self. That is, Rumi helps us to transition from the base self to the moral self, and from the moral self to our spiritual cosmic divine self. A transformation that helps us realize that we have far more potential than what material life has trapped us in. He shows us that humans are divine beings and should reflect noble and godlike traits. We are not gods, no, that's not what Rumi is saying. But as most religions tell us, we are and should manifest divine traits. In other words, instead of embodying base desires, we should strive to become divine images that reflect divine traits. Again, as many religions tell us, human beings are created in God's image. Rumi's poetry highlights the importance of love towards all beings. His perspective helps us foster deeper connection by seeing others through the lens of compassion rather than control or expectation. He invites us to love not just human beings, but also animals and environment, all of which, for Rumi, are manifestations of God and thus deserve respect. Rumi reminds us to be present in every moment, not be occupied by the past or worry about the future. With the distractions of postmodern life, Rumi's words push us to cultivate mindfulness, reminding us that true joy exists in the now. The Persian poet's inclusive philosophy teaches us to move beyond religious and cultural divides, fostering a spirit of unity and acceptance in an increasingly fragmented world. Rumi emphasizes worldly detachment, or zuhd in Farsi and Arabic, highlighting the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment over material pleasures. He warns us of the world's deceptive nature, urging seekers to recognize its transience and cultivate an inner connection with the Divine Beloved. In Divan Shams, he writes, دامی است دام دنیا کز وی شهان شیران ماندند چون سگ اندر مردار تا به گردن. A snare is this worldly trap, where kings and lions, like dogs, remained in carrion up to their necks. دامی است طرف ترزین کز وی فتاده بینی بی عقل تا به کعب و هوشیار تا به گردن. a trap stranger than this, where can you see? Where the senseless have fallen up to their ankles and the wise up to their necks. In a beautiful poem, Rumi says in another ghazal in Divan Shams, Pir ast arus eish dunya, margesh talabi agar setani. The bride of life's feast is old, marry her and soon you'll wish her dead. Through these poems, Rumi is alluding to the deceptive nature of the world and warning us not to be deceived by its apparent beauty. For Rumi, detachment doesn't mean complete withdrawal from the world. Rather, it's about a shift in focus, turning away from the fleeting worldly desires to see divine wisdom and closeness to God. His teachings advocate a balanced approach where worldly detachment enhances rather than negates meaningful engagement with life. Another term that is central to Rumi's mysticism is solitude. In Farsi, it is khalvat, in Arabic, it is uzlat. Rumi views solitude as a sacred retreat that fosters a deeper connection with the divine beloved, that is God. He emphasizes that amid life chaos, the beloved remains hidden from those incapable of recognizing the divine's presence. In Divan, he says, Delaram nahan gashte ze ghoga, hame raftand o khalvat shod bruna. The beloved, concealed amidst the chaos, all have gone. In solitude now, appear. He's begging his beloved to appear, saying that everybody is gone and nobody is here. It's all me. Solitude provides a sanctuary where one attains inner peace and spiritual intimacy, shielding the soul from the worldly distractions and undeserving influences. Rumi also considers the solitude of love, khalvat ishq in Farsi, a remedy for grief, allowing the heart to find solace in divine affection. However, this is important. Rumi encourages selective withdrawal from society rather than complete isolation. Unlike radical asceticism, which demands physical seclusion, Rumi advocates for a balanced mysticism, where solitude is a tool for spiritual awakening rather than complete detachment from life. Rumi's approach underscores moderation, encouraging seekers to withdraw from superficiality while remaining engaged with the world in meaningful ways. This solitude can be achieved even in the postmodern societies. Instead of retreating to the mountains, one can live a balanced social and spiritual life simultaneously. This balanced life can be achieved through relative solitude, by controlling the activities with which we engage, the places we visit, the times we do so, and importantly, the people with whom we communicate. In the end, in a world dominated by noise, distraction, and material pursuits, Rumi's wisdom offers a timeless refuge, a path towards inner peace, self-transformation, and a profound connection with the divine and all beings. His teachings remind us that challenges are not mere obstacles, but opportunities for growth, that true fulfillment lies beyond the ego, that love, mindfulness, and detachment can elevate us to higher existence. As we navigate the complexities of postmodern life, Rumi's words continue to inspire, guiding us towards a more conscious, compassionate, and spiritually enriched way of life. Let us reflect, embrace, and embody his wisdom. If you wish to learn more about Rumi's thought, you may watch our Rumi podcast, where we examine different themes from his works in depth. Thank you for watching and see you next time.